Hello and welcome to Elephant and Roses. My name is Katie. Thank you for tuning in today. I'm going to showcase how to make chocolate no-bake cookies as well as peanut butter no-bake cookies. Please definitely leave me a comment down below. I hope you enjoy this content and I will catch up with you after the tutorial. So we're going to start with the chocolate no-bakes, and in the back corner you're going to see that there's the cocoa powder, and cocoa powder can be 1/3 to 1/2 cup depending on how much chocolate flavor you like in your chocolate no-bake cookies. Next item is the oats. You need 3 cups of that. Next to that is the peanut butter, and you're going to want 2/3 to 1 cup of peanut butter depending on how much peanut butter flavor you want for your family or for yourself. You also need 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 stick of butter. Butter makes it taste better. Margarine leaves a funny taste, so try and stick with butter if you can. If it's not in budget, use margarine. And then the next item is milk, and you're going to need 1/2 cup. And then the last item is sugar. You need white sugar, and you need 1 3/4 cup to 2 cups. And that all depends on your family's sweetness. How much sweetness do they like? The less sugar you put in, the longer it takes for the cookies to set. That is the big preface to always remember with this recipe. Less sugar, longer set time. So again, it's 1 3/4 cup to 2 cups of sugar. And that's all the ingredients. So we'll get busy and start mixing all of this up now. Okay, to start making the dough bakes, you're going to put in your butter first and get that melting. And then the next item you need to add is your milk. I freeze milk. So to top off milk, to be able to freeze milk, you need to top off it. You need to take off milk off the top of your gallon jugs. So I use these little handy dandy. Can you see it? Yep. Glass milk jugs. And they work really good at doing that. So that was the 1/2 cup of milk. And then you're going to put in your sugar. And your cocoa. And then you just want to mix this. And things to note as you're making these no-bakes. You're going to want to bring this to a complete rolling boil. Not simmering. You want big old bubbles in the middle. And when you get your big bubbles in the middle, then you're going to set a timer for 1 minute. And I recommend the first time you make these, if you've never made them before, you put it on for 1 minute, full rolling boil. And if you've made these before and you've had issues with them, like let's say they're sticky, they just don't set right, etc., cut back the time 15 seconds for yours. No, add 15 seconds, sorry. Say that again. You're going to add 15 seconds if they're sticky, goopy, etc., and you've made them before. The first time, obviously, stick with the 1 minute. But I'm talking to the ones that have made this before and not had it work. If they're sticky and they're not setting, you need an extra 15 seconds. So 1 minute 15 for you. If you've made these and they came out really dry and you're like, they're crumbly, they just fall apart, you want to cut back 15 seconds. I'm not sure where this recipe came. There is a lot of different versions of this recipe, and it's really hard for you to see because it's really dark in this pan. Yeah, you just want to stir it until it comes to a full rolling boil. When it comes to a boil, I'll hold the camera over it so you can see what I'm talking about. And then you want it to cook for a full minute. And it comes together really fast, so that's why I really advise that you make sure that you have all your ingredients pre-measured out and ready to go. Then you don't have to worry about oh my gosh, it's gonna burn, or any of those kinds of things. If it's all pre-measured, it's pretty fast, pretty simple, pretty easy to do. And when I get ready, I'm going to use this glass bowl over here. I'm going to pour everything in it so you can see it a lot easier. I'm going to put the peanut butter in here while it's still a full boil so that it melts down really fast. But then I'll put it in with the oats so you can see it. So you can see what your mixture should look like. Sorry it's so dark. But yeah, it's a pretty fail-safe thing. I like making them. You can keep them in your counter in like an airtight container for up to a week. They last for up to 3 months in the freezer. So I start making no bakes in September for the holiday season. It's something I can make ahead of time. It's something fast and easy that I have pre-made so that if somebody, shows up at the door. There's different variations of this recipe you can make. So for example, if you don't want to use the full 3 cups of oats, you can take some of those oats out and put in shredded coconut instead. Another thing you can do after everything's mixed and they're on the parchment and they're setting, you can press in M&Ms or Skittles or anything that's like a festive candy into the top. And it'll just be an added treat on top. Then it's more like those old-fashioned thumbprint cookies where it's a shortbread cookie, but it's got the star chocolate in the middle. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. Leave me a comment if you know what I'm talking about. I grew up, they were thumbprint cookies because my great-grandmother used to make them and she put her thumbprint in and we'd either get, and this is where we need to be. You want nice big bubbles like that. So I need to set a timer for, we'll set you like that. Okay. Now I'm going to pull it away from the heat. Hopefully you can see it. Sorry for all the beeping. I do have a stove in this apartment, but this is my IKEA infusion glass top. Is that how they say it? I think it is. So it's induction, so it heats up really super fast. And the stove in the apartment is really, really slow. And it's really old. So it takes it a while to warm up. Hopefully you can see I'm mixing in the peanut butter now. Different things you can do with no bakes once you get them is I'm going to mix in my vanilla. And this is 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So no bakes are kind of fun because everybody has a different way of eating no bakes that's ever had them. And it's always funny to hear everybody's version of what they love to eat and with the no bake. And in a few minutes, I'm going to make the peanut butter ones, which have no chocolate. And so it's always comical. So I have a good friend. She likes to take 2 chocolate no bakes. And she takes a scoop of Moose Tracks ice cream. And she puts it between it and makes an ice cream sandwich. One of my children likes to put marshmallow fluff. They like to spread it between 2 cookies. And have a sandwich that way. I still think it's funny every time I see him do it. I have another child who takes 2 of the peanut butter no bakes and puts peanut butter between them. And they call it their version of a sandwich. I told them it wouldn't be a sandwich without bread, and they said there's oats, so it is bread. So, it's always fun to see your kids when they experiment with food and what they like and don't like. So now we're gonna mix this all together. I want to get it all nice and good and mixed together. Okay, now I use a cookie scoop. You can use 2 teaspoons and then, scoop with one and scrape off with the other. I find the cookie scoop faster. And then I get uniform cookies, which is always good for holidays because then it looks just kind of, it looks a little bit more fancy when you hand people cookies, especially since you didn't put a whole lot of time into this one. But then I always think, okay, I didn't put a lot of time into this cookie, but I do on my other baked goods because I kind of go all out for Christmas. What's your favorite Christmas cookie? What's the one thing you look forward at Christmas and Thanksgiving if you're here in the United States? I'm not sure if other countries have Thanksgiving. But I grew up on these. There would be every variation of these cookies you could imagine around the table. I'm sure I forgot a lot of variations I used to make of these things, but it's kind of funny how some cookies stand the test of time, like no bakes and chocolate chip cookies. And so I'm going to finish scooping these out, and I will be back with you in a few minutes, and we will start making, well, for you it'll be instantaneously. I will be right back, and I will start making the peanut butter no bakes. See you in a few minutes. Okay, so now we're going to make the peanut butter no-bake cookies. And for this, in the back corner, you're going to see 1 cup of peanut butter. You can decrease that to 3/4 of a cup of peanut butter if you don't want as much peanut butter. So again, it's 3/4 to 1 cup, depending on how much peanut butter flavor you like. We have 3 cups of oats. We are going to need 1/2 cup of milk. We need 1/4 cup of butter. And we need 1.5 to 2 cups of sugar, and then also a teaspoon of vanilla. So that's all of our ingredients. And we will get started on making it now. Okay, in the pot is the butter, the milk, and the sugar. And you're going to bring this to a full rolling boil. As I said in the previous one, for the chocolate, if you've never made this before, you want to cook this 1 full minute after it comes to a rolling boil. If you've made this before and you've had trouble, like they're runny, they're just not sticking together, they're just not setting, you need to cook it for an extra 15 minutes. If you've made it and they're really dry and they're crumbly and they're not sticking together, cut 15 seconds off. So an extra 15 seconds if they don't set, and if they come out too dry, cut back 15 seconds. So, and I've always found that really works well. Like I said in the previous segment, I like to start making these in September. When I have a few minutes, I just make a batch quick, and then I chuck them in the freezer. Literally put them in the freezer. I put them onto a cookie sheet and I just put them in the freezer to set, and when they're set, I pull them off, put them in a zippy bag in a nice even stack, and then I squeeze all the air out and they're ready to go for Christmas. If I'm in a festive mood and I've got some candy, especially after Halloween, Halloween's famous for that, I'll pick out the red and green M&Ms out of a bag of M&Ms. And put them in and press them in the top so it looks really festive for Christmas. There's a lot of ways you can use this recipe, and it's really budget friendly. The great part is that even if you pull them out frozen, like you have an unexpected guest that just appears, that's famous at Christmas time, you can just pull them out and put them on make some coffee and pull them out, put them on a nice platter. And, they think you spent all this time making cookies when actually they've been in your freezer waiting. So And this is what you want it to look like, this nice full rolling boil. And now we're going to cook it for 1 full minute. I have a timer on my camera, so that's what I'm using this time. A little bit easier to watch. Have you made these before? Do you like peanut butter no bakes? Do you like the chocolate more? Are you more of a peanut butter person, a chocolate person? Leave me a comment down below. I'm really curious what kind of foods everybody likes. I'm new to this channel. I'm learning how to videotape things. So please bear with me as I learn how to do camera angles. And this time I'm going to do what I normally do. I've shut off my heat. I'm going to add my peanut butter. I'm going to grab my scraper so I can get it all out. I grew up with old-fashioned cooks where you don't leave anything left behind. If you watch ones like Mary Berry or Lydia Bastiano, they're like me. Got to make sure you get all the good stuff in there. And then I like to mix that in. I need to put in my vanilla. That one went a little over. Is there anything in particular you like to make more than anything else? Are you always looking for fast, easy recipes? I'm a combination. I like to have the fast and easy so that I can have stuff in the freezer and ready to go really easy and quickly. And then I don't have to rush through the things I really love to make. And the things I like to make usually take a really long time to make them. So that's the nice part sometimes, is getting that pleasure out of cooking and baking and making things for yourself, but also for family and friends. And you just want it to look like this. The chocolate ones I put in the glass bowl to mix so it was easier for you to see. Hopefully you can see these peanut butter ones okay. Not necessarily the prettiest dough when you're done, but it tastes good, and everybody usually compliments it and thinks you spend a long time in the kitchen, especially if they've never had these before. Little do they know that these are really fast. And then I just take my cookie scoop. Again, just drop them down. Sometimes I'll just pat the top so that they're a little flatter. I find a cookie scoop is the fastest way and the neatest way. So you get kind of uniform looking cookies. So I tend to do that with my muffins too. I'll use a scoop because then I can get even amounts. Do you like to scoop things out evenly, or do you just like to have them random where you got all different sizes so people can pick whatever size they like, whether it's a small cookie, big cookie? I'll do that too, especially with monster cookies. Monster cookies tend to get so big that I usually tend to make them several different sizes with them, just so that people can enjoy them, because a lot of times people don't want to take a whole one because they're too big. I grew up, they were the size of a dessert plate. And yeah, so those are some big cookies. I still remember them to this day. Okay, so I will be back in a couple of minutes after I get all these out, and I will show you the final product. I hope you're enjoying this video. Thank you. That's how you make chocolate no-bake cookies, as well as peanut butter no-bake cookies. I hope you enjoyed this content. I'm getting better at videos, I hope. It's a learning curve to learn it. So hopefully you enjoyed this content. Please leave me a like and a comment below, and definitely subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.